Everyone, welcome to Rev Trev NFL. My name is Rev Trev, and I'm glad that you're here because we are going to be talking about all the massive storylines around the NFL, and there is so much to talk about today. As you know, I'm a huge Packers fan. Okay, I'm a huge Packers fan, but I love talking about the NFL, and we're going to dive into a lot of this stuff. You've seen the videos. If you haven't checked them out before, just talked and did a video about the NFC North is the best division in the NFL. Then it's not even close. But there are so many great matchups this weekend, and you want to definitely check those out. We'll be diving into the big storylines from week 7. And don't forget to follow me on all my socials, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and Facebook. Just follow Rev Trev NFL. But let's dive into all these matchups, shall we? So we'll start with the very first one. It's probably the game of the week for sure. And it's the 4-1 Lions at the 5-0 Vikings. Now, we're all at that stage. Everybody in the league, absolutely everyone in the league is shocked on how good the Vikings have been this year. Last year, I predicted that they were going to win the division. I thought Flores' defense was going to be incredible last year. They weren't, and they just failed. And with Kirk Cousins getting injured, that just wrecked their season. Let's just be honest. But going into this season, there were so many unknowns with Sam Darnold. Will the defense look the same? Will the defense look the way that I thought they were going to look last year? I didn't think they were going to be best in the league. But this team is absolutely gelled and fantastic, and it's fun to watch. As a Packers fan, it's hard because, it is what it is, and you just don't like the rival teams. But the two rival teams are playing each other, and it seems like in the NFL that a lot of people have a lot of respect for the Lions, but don't give a lot of respect to the Vikings. Now, I'm one of the first ones to say I did not give respect to the Vikings. I did not think they were going to be 5-0. In fact, nobody in the entire league did. But I thought they were going to be 1-7 to start the season. That's how bad I thought it was. I thought Sam Darnold was going to be awful. He has not been. He's been the biggest surprise, the biggest thing in the NFL to get this team going. And so this is a massive game. This is a gigantuous game. This is game of the week game, right? At the end of the day, that's exactly what it is. Minnesota's at home, and they just came off a bye week. The Lions are on a tear right now. And so it's I don't even know who's going to win this game. Well, I kind of do. I think I know who's going to win, but it could go either way. It could go either way. Now, losing Hutchinson, I think, has changed the momentum. I think most people were going to pick the Lions to win this game before Hutchinson come down. And here's the thing about Aiden Hutchinson. Like, that's a massive injury. That's a massive deal. But at the end of the day, you can't replace him. He's unreplaceable. Those kind of guys, you don't do it. It's not next man up. What it is that it is you've got to figure out a way as a team to compensate, right? They have a good defense. It's not a great statistical defense, but like it's a rough, tough that you do not want to get tackled by those kind of guys. So that's the one. So I've personally picked the Vikings to win this game. And it's not because I think they're going to win the game. It's because I keep picking against the Vikings and they keep winning. So I'm going to do reverse psychology. I'm picking the Vikings to win, and I'm hoping the Lions win. I'm cheering for the Lions. I just think that run defense, Jared Goff is good enough. I think all these kind of things are very, very important. This team is ready to go. They're the NFC champs for a reason. But if the Vikings win, it's going to be like everyone's going to be like the Vikings are legit. The Vikings are legit. So this is a big game for both teams. The Lions want to get that first place back in the NFC North. The Vikings want to prove to the world again that they are going to be legitimate. And we're going to find out Sunday about this. So this is game of the week. It's crazy. I mean, is Hawkinson back? It sounds like he's talking about it. I don't know if he'll be back for this game. Okay, I do lots of diving into this game. I've already actually done a video on it. So just a heads up, if you haven't watched my preview of the Texans-Packers game, please go back and watch this video. It's really good. It talks about Jordan Love, talks about CJ Stroud, and a lot of people, like the Locked On Texans guy, thinks that it's going to be the Texans are going to win 28-14. I just don't see the Packers putting up only 14 points. I actually have the Packers putting up 31 points. And so I don't get what he's thinking about here. I get that CJ Stroud barely turns the ball over, but you're also missing Nico Collins and a number of people on offense and defense and in important positions. So I'm not with the Texans. Now, the Texans could win. The Texans, again, want to keep proving to everyone, keep in pace with the Kansas City Chiefs and in the AFC. So there's a lot riding on. This is a massive game as well. The Packers don't want to lose another game to either the Lions or the Vikings, and want to go ahead of the Bears as well, even though they're tied in record. Technically, they're ahead. I don't know why. We've only beat them 10 times in a row, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm not bitter at all, okay? The other big matchup is this one, and it's the Kansas City 5-0 Kansas City Chiefs at the 3-3 San Francisco 49ers. And the 49ers have been a real huge disappointment this year. Now, granted, they've lost CMC. They always end up losing Debo for a couple games or, that kind of thing. But this team is still good. It's still solid, even though the record doesn't. So here's the Super Bowl rematch. Now, the last three games I just talked about, there is no situation there where the Packers or any one of these three games are prime time. And it's not that they can flex games yet, but boy, any one of these games could have been flexed. Not only Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday. I mean, Thursday nights are a joke right now. But like Denver beating up on the Saints, that was awful. That was awful. I mean, if you're a Denver fan, you like it, but here's 5-0 Kansas City, 3-3 San Francisco. This is the Super Bowl rematch. Is Kansas City going to continue to win? Now, San Francisco at home. There's no CMC, so that's there. Looks like Mason's going to play. He was deemed questionable, and that's just an interesting play, isn't it? An interesting play. So, yeah, it's going to be good. Just a heads up, Wayne's here. Rev Trev, I don't like either team, but I'm going with Detroit Lions to beat the Vikings. Why? Because I want to see the Vikings lose and get them off the unbeaten throne. Yeah, I understand that. Do you feel the same way about Kansas City? Do you want Kansas City to lose so they're no longer undefeated as well? Just the Kansas City Chiefs just keep rolling despite injuries. Rice, Pacheco, like you start naming the names, and it's like, how are they still winning? They've got this guy named Patrick Mahomes. Maybe you heard of him. He's pretty good at football. So, and then Chris Jones on the other end, just dominant force. So, I'm probably picking the Kansas City Chiefs here just because, but I would not be surprised if the 49ers win this game. Okay, I got two more games that I want to talk about today around the NFL, Week 7. This one is probably one of the biggest ones. Actually, there's three things I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about trades. First of all, let's talk about this trade. This is the biggest trade that went down. Devontae Adams was unhappy being in Vegas. They got rid of his good buddy. Why he went there, Derek Carr. And Derek Carr now has also lost his job in New Orleans. And so his career is probably over, unless he's going to be a backup. And Devontae gets his wish and goes and gets to play with Aaron Rodgers. Now, that is huge. But this is not like 2 years ago, Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, everyone. Do you think that the New York Jets automatically, they fired their coach, they picked up Devontae Adams, all of a sudden they're going to turn it around? They can if they start this week. They had to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. And normally I'd be like, there's no way they're beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. But the Steelers, for some reason, cannot stand Justin Fields. I don't know why, but he's been playing totally fine. Well, the Bears traded him for a 6th-round pick. Apparently he has no value. He comes into your organization. He puts up good numbers. You have a winning record, 4-2, and you're going to say, okay, now our starter, Russell Wilson, who has not been good at football for a couple seasons now, It's been a while, maybe more. Maybe it's 3 seasons since Russell Wilson's been really good. There's something about what they see and say, Russell Wilson's our guy, and they're bringing him in against the New York Jets. Now, both of these defenses are crazy good. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this game. I'm very, very, very interested to see what happens. So the New York Jets are got a lot of hype around them. Breece Hall starting to look better again. They have Braylon Allen. This receiving core now looks pretty ferocious. If you ask me, you got Adams, Wilson, and then you have Lassard. That's all right there. Like that's good. And then you have Conklin's a decent tight end. So it depends on how Aaron Rodgers plays, how much pressure the Pittsburgh Steelers get on him, and then flip side, the defense of the New York Jets. If they put pressure on Russell Wilson and he has to scramble, I mean, he's not young anymore either. So it'll be interesting coming off a first game of injury. I don't know who's going to win this game. Speaking of trades, the Bills beat the Jets last week by 3 points. And then the Jets make the trade for Devontae Adams, and literally the Bills go out and one-up them again. Not only beat them by 3, went and got Amari Cooper from the Cleveland Browns. By the way, there's rumors right now that the Cleveland Browns are selling. If the Packers can pick up Garrett Wilson, please, wouldn't that be great? I would love that. He is one of the best premier players in the NFL. And that's a guy you just have. It's like adding Reggie White to your team. You win Super Bowls with a guy like him. So I'm hoping that we land him. I don't think it's going to happen, but every team would want a Max Crosby or a Myles Garrett. If we could land either one of those guys, it'd be awesome. So the Jets, if they can make life miserable for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I can see the Jets winning this game. But the problem is like Amari Cooper going to Josh Allen. That's a problem. That's a problem. That's going to be a great combo. So the Bills just got better as well. Okay, last game we're going to talk about today, and it's the Baltimore Ravens. This is the Sunday nighter, I believe. 4-2. Baltimore Ravens versus the 4-2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers have been legitimate. This is a great opportunity for them to showcase that they're for real. Now we know that Baltimore is for real. I believe Baltimore's on a four-game winning streak. Let me just quickly go and bring Ravens schedule. Yes, I think so. Okay, yeah. So they went and they lost to the Chiefs in the first game. That was by 7. They lost to the Raiders, and then everyone's freaking out. Then they beat the Cowboys. They beat the Bills by a lot. They had a shootout against the Bengals, won that game, and then they beat the Ravens. So they're on a 4-game winning streak. If you're asking me, I think Baltimore wins this game, but I could be wrong. And because Baker Mayfield's proving the world wrong. This team, those 3 running backs that they have in Tampa Bay, well, I mean, White is probably the least. He was great last year. You got Bucky Irving and Sean Tucker, like the 3-headed monster. Wow, that looks really good. Mike Evans is going to be a Hall of Famer. He is Mr. Consistency. So yeah, so lots of stuff going on. So that's all around the NFL. Leave a comment. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. I love producing NFL content, especially Packers content. And it's going to be a great weekend to watch football. So hope you have a fantastic, fantastic weekend. And yeah, let's enjoy it together.